All right, quick PSA before we get started. Everybody breathe, stay calm, and try not to clobber me with your $5,000 tiny house stories. Look, this isn't some weird flex. This house was built for both Michigan winters and Colorado altitude, so it's kind of like the extreme athlete of tiny houses. This video is about how many steps in a real, legal tiny house build actually cost money. Now, we're not saying this is the only way, but it does offer a good reality check for what things cost. Before the comments get too spicy, let's remember to keep it respectful and fun for everybody. Now, let's dig into the weeds on this thing. Before you fall in love with that $20,000 tiny house fantasy, let me ask you something. If builders can supposedly make you a finished home for 20 grand, why are so many of them going out of business, getting sued, and ghosting customers? The truth is, this number gets thrown around a lot by people who haven't built a legal tiny house themselves, or even worse, builders who know it's not real and use it to scam you. Today, we're breaking down what it actually costs to build a real, legal tiny home, step by step, in detail, and with the receipts. And by the end, we hope you'll understand why 20 grand barely covers the foundation. So many people have been led to believe that you can build a functional, legal tiny home to live in for under 20 grand. Now, we've never seen one of these mythical unicorns in the wild, but we're told that someone somewhere built one. Probably once, maybe, on unpermitted land, probably with used trailer axles and a lot of hope. The problem is, this fantasy has done real damage, and it's led thousands of people into the arms of shady builders who promise to deliver a finished home for a price they can't possibly make work. Another tactic is to build something that isn't even legal for full-time human occupancy and not bother telling you that small little detail. Then you feel like the new owner of your sailboat you built in the basement suddenly. We've seen customers get burned all over the country, left with half-finished builds, homes that aren't code approved or legal for occupancy, or worse, entirely empty building lots after paying up front to a construction grifter.
And look, we're not here to crush your Pinterest dreams. We love a good DIY project. Over the last decade, TrailerMade was built on the DIY movement. But let's be honest, most of the 20,000 claims come from fantasy builds. No insulation, no plumbing, no permits, and definitely no engineering stamp. You can't build something safe and livable for that price anymore, especially if it's going to last more than one winter.
It is a 20-foot by 8-foot long trailer. Doesn't need any special permitting on the road. My buddy pulled it for me. It's about 5,300 pounds. Panels, if you want to take a look here, they're metal panels. So these are all individual metal panels. They squish them in between 2 inches of spray foam closed cell insulation. And that is what creates almost like a metal sit panel. And having that structure gives you all the rigidity you need. There's no wood studs behind these walls. It's just those metal panels, and it's solid as a rock.
So today, we're going to show you what it actually costs to build a real tiny home. We're breaking it down phase by phase using real numbers from a real client's custom tiny house. A basic 18 by 8 model, no fluff, just facts. And this is one of the least expensive legal tiny homes that you can build today. Now, be sure you stick around till the end, where Natalie's going to show you how to save tens of thousands of dollars on your custom tiny home build. So, you guys ready? Let's go do some math.
Let's start with the trailer. The part people forget is actually the foundation of your entire home. And no, you can't just throw a tiny house on an old car hauler from Craigslist and expect it to pass inspection or be given a certificate of occupancy by your county. That's the thing that lets you legally live in a structure of any kind. This was a brand new tandem axle bumper pull tiny home trailer built by TrailerMade from structural tube steel. It's engineered, stamped, and approved specifically for tiny home loads with proper cross members, structural sill plate, an integrated tongue deck, and a sealed subfloor cavity with spray foam insulation. We used 5 sheets of Advantech decking at $75 each for $375 total. The closed cell spray foam in the trailer cavity cost $630. Then we sealed the whole deck from the steel underneath it to prevent condensation by covering the top of the trailer with sill seal and butyl flashing tape. another $200. And of course, there's the DOT-required LED lighting kit, sealed wiring harness, stabilizer jacks, safety chains, and a full VIN registration and titling package, which added another $530 to the trailer's base price of $7,700. Total cost for the trailer, spray foam decking, and subfloor ceiling came to $9,435. That's just the foundation. We still haven't put up a single wall or installed one piece of framing.
Now we move on to the skeleton of the tiny house, the cold formed steel or CFS framing kit. This is where it starts to take shape. We use a cold formed steel kit that was CNC roll formed, CAD designed, and engineered specifically for this floor plan. It was built stick by stick, each labeled and located on a shop drawing, and ready to assemble, just like an erector set for adults. The total for the steel framing kit was $6,426. That includes every stud, track, structural member, along with Simpson Hurricane ties, LS30 clips, and all the engineered hardware you need to anchor the frame to the trailer and bolt it together like a roll cage. No saws, no wood warping, and no guesswork. It goes together fast and dead square. And at this point, we've invested $15,861 for an engineered foundation and frame, the essential structural components that ensure your home will be safe and durable.
Now it's time to wrap the frame and give this house its rigidity and weather protection. We used zip system wall and roof sheathing, polyiso rigid insulation panels, and treated thermal break materials to prep the shell for 4-season living. That's 20 sheets of 7/16 wall sheathing, 6 sheets of 5/8 roof sheathing, plus 12 sheets of roof insulation, all sealed with flashing tape. Came to $1,615 in materials for this phase. The weatherproofing phase brings us to a properly insulated shell that will keep you comfortable year-round, with the investment now totaling just over $17,400.
Now this is where your house starts to look like a house on the outside. We installed gallery blue PBR panel siding and copper penny roofing panels. The trim package included J-channels, hat channels and drip edges, corners and custom flashing pieces, all color matched. We even added gutters and a rain collection system. That entire package added up to $2,407 in materials. With the exterior complete at $19,883, this tiny home is now protected from the elements and looking great from the outside, while we get ready for the interior systems.
Next up, windows and doors. This house has 10 windows total, including a casement egress window in the loft, a few sliders, a couple of fixed panes, and single hung units. We also installed a standard entry door, a storm door, and a pocket door for the bathroom, adding $3,431. For quality windows and doors brings your running total to $23,314. Essential components that provide security, ventilation, and natural light for your living space.
Now here's where the build gets technical, MEP. This phase includes a 12,000 BTU Pioneer mini-split system for heating and cooling, wired baseboard heaters with thermostats, and all of the necessary materials for fresh water, drainage, and electrical service. PEX water lines, ABS drains, vent stacks, tankless water heater, a full 50-amp RV power connection, all your breaker panels, wiring, outlets, switches, and even a smoke and CO detector. All told, this phase added $3,614 to the build cost. With all mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems installed, we're at $26,928, ensuring your home will have the modern conveniences and comfort you expect in any proper dwelling.
Now we're at the fun part, the finishes. But this is also where budgets blow up if you're not paying attention. This build included LVP flooring throughout, gross Phillips wall panels, custom trim butcher block countertops, a full set of kitchen cabinets shelving, a deep stainless sink, Delta faucet, baseboard trim, and all the hardware to go with it. In the bathroom, we used an OVE 32x32 shower kit, a Delta multi-spray shower system, a real vanity and faucet, not a repurposed garden hose, and a Nature's Head composting toilet with vent and accessories. We also installed a stackable washer and dryer, plus a compact fridge with a freezer. All of it's code compliant, real-world tested, and made to last. Total materials for this phase came to $10,683.94. The interior finishes bring our materials cost to $37,905.46, covering everything from flooring to appliances that transform this structure into a fully functional, comfortable tiny home.
Okay, let's recap. We started with a custom engineered trailer and steel framing kit that totaled $15,331. Then we added $31,232.10 worth of building materials, everything from insulation, siding, and roof to the cabinets, fixtures, windows, flooring, and more. And finally, our experienced crew spent $29,761 worth of labor hours installing and assembling every inch of this custom home to code. That brings us to a real-world turnkey total of $76,324.36 for one of the most affordable, legal to live in tiny homes you can build today. Now, this isn't a luxury model. It's a basic 18 by 8 tiny house with efficient systems, practical materials, and everything needed to live in it safely, legally, and comfortably.
Now here's the part every DIYer wants to know. Can you save money by building it yourself? Absolutely. If you have time, tools, knowledge, and dedication to follow code, pull permits, and manage your project start to finish, you can cut that $29,761 labor cost out of the equation. That would bring your total build cost down to around $46,563. But here's the thing. Our team built this custom house in 220 shop hours. That's 3 skilled tradespeople working full-time, 40 hours a week, with decades of experience, and in a factory full of equipment and tools that make the build process more efficient.
So, if you're new to this kind of project, or maybe you don't have a tiny house factory in your backyard, it's going to take you 2 to 4 times longer to do this. Now, you can cut that time down if you have help, but even your best of friends is going to grumble a little if they have to donate 200 plus hours of labor to your house. So you'll probably have to compensate them accordingly in most cases. And that starts cutting back against the savings of DIY work that you're doing. So before you say, I'll just build it myself, ask yourself, are you ready to work 600 to 1,000 hours for free? Nights, weekends, holidays, maybe for the better part of a year? And then will it still be built to code when you're done? Because time is money, even when it's your own.
If this video helped open your eyes to the real cost of building a safe, legal, custom tiny home, do us a favor. Leave us a comment below and tell us if you agree or disagree with the numbers we've shared. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're thinking about building a custom tiny home of your own, check out our channel for more videos like this, including full build walkthroughs, kit options, and even how to avoid getting scammed by shady builders. We are the tiny house experts, helping people build smarter, not harder. We'll see you in the next video.